Hello there, and welcome to this session doing some tactics in the Benoni for black and white on Lichess.org. So what we're doing here is tactics after the tactics, which is to say, after you play e4, trapping the bishop, who has no squares, knight b4, attacking the queen, but also freeing up the long diagonal for the bishop. And then queen c3, generating a new threat of mate, while still leaving the threat of pawn takes bishop. And inevitably winning the bishop. So something like f6 or queen f6 is going to happen there. e5 is kind of possible, but I don't think that's ideal, certainly. So after you play this, how are you actually winning the game? So let's just consider really quick what black's top defense is. Boom, boom, boom. I definitely think that knight b4 is the move to consider. It's the best try as a human being to make certain that your opponent, that white in this case, has done the due diligence to find queen c3. In that position, I'm expecting f6, f6, pawn takes, and then knight takes. And I like f6 because first of all, it offers the opportunity to push here, but also you could take back with the pawn and maybe generate like this isolated passed pawn in the center, which could generate counter chances for black. So let's say f6. I'm probably playing rook ad1. f6 takes, and then after knight takes, my queen's under attack. After knight takes, I probably play queen back to c2, and then something like rook c8, queen here. Nah, I cannot draw arrows today. And then queen d4, queen e4. And if pawn takes, then I'm just playing rook fd1. Drop, mate, f6 is indeed the move. And does it prefer pawn takes or does it prefer knight takes? Let's turn on the computer. Oh, neither. Interesting. Yeah, so rook here, I accept that. That's fine. Wow. Huh. Yeah, it is a little bit difficult to find a square for your queen in this position, isn't it? I know that I personally would probably play queen e1. That's what I would have done. Oh, queen e1 loses the exchange. Not great. Certainly not ideal, but queen e1 is probably what I would play in a game. Okay. Here is mate. So this threatens checkmate and the queen. What's the queen gonna do? She can't get back. So you have to go back and defend the square, but then I take the queen for free. So it's pretty terrible, but the best defense is either here and bishop g7, allowing the queen, and then bishop takes h6, or here queen takes knight, pawn takes, and then knight takes. That seems to win the most material. But yeah, the game's completely lost for black. Okay, so after knight takes in that position, I'm probably playing rook fe8. And I want to hit that pawn. And this other knight's going to come to the center of the board. And I'm going to start targeting the f7 pawn and the e7 pawn. That does absolutely nothing, right? Well, I suppose what it does is now the queen's no longer under attack, and you can take. Oh, I didn't see that check. I didn't see that check at all. So what? Do you just go back? And then take here? Wow. I completely misanalyzed that, huh? Okay, is there any way for me to preserve the mate? Right, like rook here, pawn takes. So there's no way for me to preserve the mate. So I think my bishop just has to go back. Then the queen moves. Is the queen trapped here? Wait a second, is the queen trapped? Here, and then queen here? Is her only square? Then knight check, king here, bishop check, bishop here. And I'm still getting at the king somehow. Bishop takes, king takes, queen here. Yeah? Now knight takes, king here, bishop check, rook f1, sure. Yeah, it's really not a pure win. And I didn't do the tactic after the tactic there. I didn't really fully consider. You've just self-trapped your queen. You've just... So king moves over. The queen goes where? King goes over, queen back, bishop takes. And if something like here, I have knight takes, knight takes, knight takes. Okay, so king f1 is certainly the move. After king f1, there's queen f6, bishop takes, let's say castles, or f5. I think castle seems like the more likely move. Can't play f5, the queen's on f6. Castles. I think in that scenario I'm playing knight g3. Or maybe king f2. Maybe king f2 with the idea of rook e1 and then king g1. Knight g3 probably isn't ideal just yet because the queen comes in here. And if the other line seems much less likely, king f1, knight here, knight takes, knight here, knight takes. That's the kind of thing that a beginner would play. this is not great because I think my knight goes to e3. Let's say castles again. My knight's going to go to e3. Let's say bishop g5, king e2. Okay, so king f1 here. Yeah, this is just the instructive line. f4 was expected. Knight e3. Knight e3 is one of the top moves, but not the top move. It's what I would play though, so we'll just go with it. Knight e3. f4 is fine. That f4 is a non-issue. After f4, I would probably play knight d1 with the idea of rerouting this way. Rerouting. Okay, let's pause there for now. Successful session overall, I would say. Thank you so much for being with me here today. And until the next time, good luck with your own chess journey. Bye for now.